What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and as of recording this, we are less than a day away from the launch of Season 5, which is meant to start at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 o'clock Central, and 12 o'clock Eastern. I already have my stream scheduled, as we're of course going to walk through the Battle Pass first, then jump right into DLC for The Reckoning. I also just got off of the Season 5 creator call, where we actually learned some pretty cool details about the upcoming season, which I don't believe are going to be featured in today's patch notes, which we're also going to be breaking down in this video. Definitely stay tuned. Of course, feel free to resort to the timestamps down below if you want to jump around from topic to topic. But real quick, Treyarch has not stopped with the marketing for the 5th season, specifically for Zombies, where they confirmed that Elena's segment is back, and we'll be doing some music for DLC for The Reckoning. Hopefully she'll be back for some additional tracks in Black Ops 7 as well, but if you're a hardcore fan, you know that it's been quite some time since Elena's actually been able to do a song for Call of Duty Zombies. Now, it was also mentioned that the total of Grief arenas will be increased to 14 with the launch of the 5th season, as a couple of arenas are getting added from The Reckoning. Obviously, won't have much time to play Grief until after covering most of DLC 4, so we'll end up jumping into that later on stream over the course of the weekend. Now, Detonated was also briefed on the brand new Ricochet update for the 5th season. Some great news that I did break down in an article that I'll have linked down below. There were also some tweets on the Detonated Twitter about this, but throughout the course of Season 5, Secure Boot will be rolling out. I know Battlefield, of course, requires that for the upcoming beta, and Trusted Platform Module is also something that you'll be expecting with Ricochet now. These are also features that are going to be required to play Black Ops 7 in a couple of months from now. Either way, a big step in the right direction when it comes to ranked play and just for the integrity of all of our matchmaking. And yes, for those wondering if they clarified whether or not people going AFK and Plunder is getting folks banned, I just put out a short about this about a day and a half ago, and yes, it was confirmed that people that are boosting and idling for XP are being banned from playing Call of Duty. But I also wanted to highlight some of the points made during the Q&A of the creator call. First off, Beanox worked on 2 multiplayer maps this season, Runaway coming at launch, and Jackpot coming during the mid-season. A snipers only mosh pit is actually going to restrict score streaks completely whenever that ends up coming out. They also emphasized the big focus on camo rewards throughout the duration of the season, probably through Easter eggs and of course upcoming events. We can also expect several different blueprint rewards throughout Warzone Season 5. There'll be a weapon case available for a limited time. There'll be the original keycard Easter egg from the stadium back from Warzone 1. But then for Zombies, DLC 4 is expected to feature a ton of rich side quests, actually being compared to Citadel Day More. There'll be at least one quest that's similar to the unique golden armor we saw in the Tomb, and there's important quality of life updates for the mystery box and even Grief as well. But now jumping into the patch notes, as you can see here, starting with Black Ops 6, multiplayer and Zombies. They of course recap all the information about the map, some of the playlists, obviously our game modes. We've covered all of this in plenty of previous videos. Also info about the weapons. Confirming again the boxing gloves aren't coming until later in season as an event reward. There was a community post that suggested the boxing gloves were coming at launch, but that's not actually the case. More info about the finale to round base. Scrolling down here. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier already, there's been a big Ricochet anti-cheat overhaul that just got unveiled earlier today. And I covered all that in a separate article on detonated.com for those interested. But when it comes to weaponry in multiplayer and Zombies, weapon level, max level display. Let's see. Your current weapon level and the weapon's max weapon level will be both displayed in many locations where previously only your current weapon level was displayed. This will make it easier for players to see how many weapon levels they have remaining before reaching the max. Just an issue where the monolithic suppressor remain locked for some players on the LC10 and FFAR. They're targeting weapons this season that are seeing lower overall usage than they would like. For primary weapons, those are mainly the shotguns and semi-autos, as well as the Fang 82. These weapons have all received range improvements. They're also making improvements to all launch pistols, which is really important. They're reducing effectiveness of the Olympia in the update. They're happy that it made its triumphant return, but it was a little too versatile and powerful in its previous state. So as you can see here, plenty of updates for weapon balancing, whether it's nerfs and buffs. There'll be a meta weapon article also on Detonated to keep you guys in the loop with what is best to use throughout the 5th season. Changes here for the Goblin. We got changes here for the Marine SP, the ASG, the Maelstrom, the Fang, 7.62, DM10, TR2, and even the SVD, as well as the 9mm, the Grakova, GS45, the Strider, of course, in preparation for that special pistol attachment coming later on in the season. The Olympia is receiving some significant nerfs to reduce its effectiveness at longer ranges. 25% increase to ADS spread. Short barrel seeing improvements so that to its range and handling. This attachment was outshined by the default barrel, which is probably not what they wanted. So there you go. Got some changes there for the Olympia. And then For modes, address an issue in S&D where players will occasionally not spawn in the subsequent round when joining a match in progress. Address an issue with the Shadow perk when throwing equipment while near an enemy shock charge. We got a fix there for the Archangel, and then for UI, there was a bug where players were able to redirect to the Prestige menu from the After Action report, not intended. There's an issue in rank play when switching between certain classes. The primary and secondary weapon icon silhouettes would flash red or green. And an issue where the score streak widget can incorrectly glow orange and show ready for use after respawning. Also an issue where players were unable to prestige in the main prestige menu. Problems with tracking challenges. Issues where people were unable to unpin weapons whose camel challenges have been completed. I've been experiencing that problem for several weeks now. Fix an issue where weapon preview fails to display in the weapons tab when a new custom loadout is set to favorite, and an issue where players with the depth of field setting set to on will see operators A posing in the winner's circle. Of course, we got ranked rewards, the new setback for ranked play inside of Season 5. The motion protection will be active for everyone's first 3 ranked play losses in Season 5, and players can expect 1 free loss per day via daily loss forgiveness, just like in Season 4. Ranked play unlock requirements, got some info there about that, and of course, for Game Pass. Game Pass free trial accounts on PC will not be able to participate in MP Ranked. Game Pass free trial accounts on PC will still have access to campaign, MP, and zombies, though. So the free trial should, of course, be during, I think, the launch window of our 5th season. We'll have to wait and see. Address various stability fixes. Jumping into zombies for the Reckoning. Obviously, we have a brand new map for round-based. Let's see, it's the description of the map and the story. Address an issue where players will take damage while standing on a coffin in Citadel Day More. An issue where zombies will not drop down near the dumpster in Pump and Pay in Liberty Falls. Close an exploit where players are able to reach a safe spot using Ether Shroud in Liberty. There's just a problem where the grief capture zones were not showing for players who joined matches in progress. Just an issue where players were not receiving the correct amount of essence and reserve ammo when joining grief in progress. Just a problem where the crafting table would display the self-revive limit as 3 instead of 1. And a problem where the dark flare beam will remain active while the player's weapon is being swapped during the weapon carousel. As far as weaponry goes, just a problem where the additional explosion from Shatter Blast would detonate on a zombie instead of the initial detonation point. An issue where players may receive the same weapon twice in a row in the mystery box, and just an issue where players do not receive ammo on the left when purchasing a wall buy with an Akimbo zombie build. Just an issue where the Shadow Rift may warp zombies outside of the church during the lockdown event. And then for perks, we also got fixes for Juggernaut's reactive armor augment, the perk order after using mutant injection, death perception's extra charge or extra change augment, as well as a fix for Melee Macchiato's hidden impact augment. And then the player's fist not appearing when using Melee Macchiato. For field upgrades, just an issue where players are able to charge their field upgrade rapidly when leaving and rejoining the match in progress during a quest step. An issue where trials would progress when getting kills with Frenzy Guard's Retribution augment, and an issue where the player was not able to activate the Pack-a-Punch machine after picking up the Blood Ethereum Crystal while Dark Flare was active. Also fixes for score streaks, address an issue where the AFK would be active while using a support item, and an issue where the Chopper Gunner would face the wrong direction in Shattered Veil. That's a big one. Also Gobblegums, it looks like now when using Free Fire, there's an issue where Free Fire would not apply to the left-hand weapon. Okay, so now both weapons could be used while running Free Fire. Address an issue where the player's arm will be misaligned during the Amalgam Game Over scene, and then we've got some UI fixes there across the board. Players would encounter an error in the zombies purchase menu in the arsenal. Fix an issue where the Gobblegum store would display a black screen, and then other stability fixes. So still important changes right before the launch of DLC 4 The Reckoning. Not too many patch notes this time around, at least for the base game, but jumping into Warzone, I'm sure there are a little bit more. Obviously, they mentioned Ricochet again with Secure Boot and other important changes that are going to be required for Black Ops 7. There's a whole separate blog about that, and of course the article on Detonated. They mentioned the militarized stadium. So, of course, when it comes to the opening of the stadium itself, it's going to be a little bit different from the stadium that we saw back in Warzone 1. There'll be a multi-step contract. During the first full week of the season, you got to uncover hidden operations, complete the explosive satellite hijack contract before time runs out. Once unlocked, players will find the POI is now more meaningful than ever. Obviously, new structures, new buildings, and plenty of Easter eggs, as well as some blueprint rewards. But starting on week 2, through the end of Season 5, Stadium will remain permanently unlocked and will be designated as a high-value loot zone. Stadium Resurgence, brand new map. Here is the playlist calendar for Warzone this season. As you can see, we got solos, duos, and quads for Verdansk. We got solos, duos, quads for Resurgence Rebirth, Plunder quads Verdansk, Ranked Play Trios Verdansk, Resurgence Trios ranked on Rebirth, Battle Royale Casual Solo Quads, and then Resurgence Casual just quads for Rebirth. No other map is getting added into rotation. We got new changes here for Warzone Ranked with SR adjustments, some other fixes, and of course our brand new rewards that we went over in the initial Season 5 blog post reveal. Loot and Economy. New Season 5 LMG has been added to ground loot and supply boxes. Lootable perks have been updated here. Shrouded, Irradiated, Loot Master, Reflexes, Bomb Squad, and Gung Ho will be in the pool now. Buy station updates. They've been re-randomized across the map for Dansk to create more dynamic combat scenarios and rotation opportunities. The stadium buy station will now appear once the roof has been breached. Starting in week 2, the buy station will be available at the start of the match though. And then we got a nice new tac map. They haven't really given us tac maps before, have they? For all the new buy station locations. That's kind of cool. All right. Satellite Hijack, limited time contract only for the first week of the season. Multiple squads must complete the contract in the same match to initiate the stadium breach. A little bit of RNG involved there, but I'm sure people are going to be interested if they're looking for the blueprint rewards. It's a four-step process, excuse me. We'll cover this again in a separate Easter egg video that I'll be making, talking about all the rewards, the blueprints, the weapon case. Very excited to cover all that. It'll be available in both core and casual battle royale, by the way, for all squad sizes. Spring Mine, we got some adjustments there for our equipment. Increased damage reduction when prone. Players now receive 85% damage reduction when performing these actions. Perfect. Napalm Strike. Call in a targeted strike of explosion napalm to cut off enemies and rain fire from above. Functions similarly to airstrike, with napalm impacting from left to right based on the direction you're facing. Available only in care packages. Perk visibility, quality of life. You can see perks now on kill cams and when spectating. All perks, that is. Obtaining specialists is now easier. Pool balls are now arranged on the rack to help you go out. Go take a look. They mentioned this in the creator call, which means that people actually weren't doing this Easter egg enough. I'm talking about the vault and the overlook. Now, instead of having to find pool balls and key cards, you just have to find key cards so that you can go ahead and just straight up go into the vault, use the key cards, open up some chests, and get a specialist. I don't think there's any other reward in that vault, though, apart from specialist, maybe a hand cannon, a barricade, some other cool loot. That's about it. Drop rate adjustments for Verdansk Battle Royale. Assault rifles have a higher spawn rate. And looks like for Rebirth, they've adjusted each class of weapon drop rate when, again, jumping into Rebirth Resurgence. Got our new DLC weapons here in the Battle Pass. Boxing gloves mid-season. Attachments later on as well. Default loadouts. Kilo replaces FFAR. Jacko replaces Ladra. ABR replaces the SWAT. That's cool. The new assault rifle. PML replaces the PU-21. Frostline replacing DM-10. ASVAL replacing GPR. Ladra replacing LC-10. Lots of weapon adjustments. Big meta changes across the board. We got changes there for a couple of assault rifles, a few of our SMGs, and we got one Marine SP change. Adjustments there for our light machine guns, our marksmen, snipers. I think these are all Black Ops 6 exclusive as well. No changes to any Modern Warfare weapons, unfortunately, for those that were looking forward to that. UI, UX adjustments. Weapon levels, we mentioned that earlier. Friendly field upgrade indicators. Deployable covers, trophy, and recon drones are now displaying a blue indicator when deployed by a friendly player, just so you know who actually placed them. Adjustments to various challenges for UAV towers. Dark matter camo challenges, correctly tracking multi-kills. Expanded the requirements for unique camo challenges that require kills on most wanted. Kills on bounty targets will now also count. This is huge. For those frustrated with the most wanted change we got last season, this change gives players more flexibility in how they progress these challenges. And lastly, bug fixes. We got some general ones for ATVs and Battle Royale. Ammo depots, connecting on queue, launcher type weapons not tracking kills correctly, fixes with the S&D contract, spring mines remaining lethal after a player left the game. That's kind of frustrating. An issue causing the SWAT conversion to use an incompatible attachment. Fixes for rank play there with black screens, semi-soft locks in queue after attempting to join somebody, and then some other UI and UX fixes here across the board with optics. What else do we have here? The weapons tab, setting favorites, specialist perk appearing twice in the UI, loadout drop icons looking weird, and then various issues with MW2 and 3 weapon attachment, pro and context descriptions. But ladies and gentlemen, that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below on our brand new patch notes. And with it being said, I will see you guys live on stream tomorrow. Peace out, everybody.